Hey guys, this is CyberKnight 610, and I'm going to teach you guys how to summon a monster. First off, there are different types of summoning. There's normal, there's special, and there's fusion, ritual, and synchro, and Excel synchro. Excel synchro and synchro are basically the same thing. And basically, a ritual, fusion, or synchro is the same as a special summon. So if a card negates special summoning, it also negates those, because those are the same thing. Some people try to say, well, no, it's a fusion, no, it's a synchro, no, it's a, ritual. They're all special summonings. It's not a normal summon. There are only really two types of summoning. You can only normal summon once per turn. You can special summon as many times as you want in a turn. But, of course, it's kind of hard to do that. You'd have to have everything just right, to do that. To normal summon, you have to have a monster that has level 4 or lower. So for example, that's a level 1 and that's a level 4. These two could be special summoned. So you would put them face special summon, normal summoned. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, you can normal summon these. Only normal summon once per turn, so I can summon that, because it's level 4, or lower can work too though, like I said. Or you can set, which, setting is just putting face down like that. It has to be that way, horizontal, that means defense. You can't do, face-up defense. They say you can in the anime, in the show and all that. You cannot do that. It's not part of the rules. I don't know why they do that. That's why I was saying that's really not always great to watch the show to learn how to play, because that's one of the big things they always do, and you can't do that. So yeah. Of course you can't do that, but you can just normal summon or set, like that, once per turn though. It has to be level 4 or lower. Can't stress that enough. Now, you can tribute monsters. Let's say you have this already on the field. It's your next turn. And you can sacrifice it, or tribute, whatever you want to call it. I usually call it sacrificing, because that's what it used to be called. For gold, here's this guy. He is a level 5. Level 5 or 6 monsters require 1 tribute. So, for example, I just tribute this dude. So yeah, 1 tribute. He's out on the field now. Or you can, set him whenever you tribute summon him. But it has to be a tribute. You can't just, without anything. And then, if you have these two, for example, you normal summon both of them. They've been on the field now. Then, your next turn when you have a normal summon again, then you can sacrifice both of them for this guy. He's a level 8. 7 all the way to the highest level, 12. Yeah, 12 is the highest level. Require only 2 tributes, unless the card states otherwise. So this one you could easily, sacrifice 2 for it. Or, you can set as well. You can always set, but you still have to do the tributing when you're setting. Certain monsters will require other things like, let's see, where's this card? Wicked Dreadroot, he says in his effect that he does require 3 tributes. If he didn't say it in his effect, you could use 2. That's an example. The God cards always needed 3, different things like that. I don't know if the legal God cards need 3 or not. I'm not 100% sure on that. But yeah, they'll say it in the effect if they do require more. And certain, always read the effects, because certain times they'll say, well, if you tribute a certain type of monster, you can only, then you'll use 1 instead of 2 tributes, and different things like that. Or only be tributed using certain cards, different things like that. So always read the effect. Let's see. Now, special summoning. Normal summoning is pretty easy. Hopefully that was pretty basic for you guys to understand. And now with special summoning, you can usually just revive monsters from the grave, using Monster Reborn called the Haunted. That's one type. Or there are certain monsters that can jump from your hand to the field, like Cyber Dragon, where your opponent doesn't have any. If they have monsters on their side of the field, you don't have any. You can special summon them instantly. So that's one way. No tributes, no nothing, just instantly on the field, and you can do that as many times as you want. If you have the cards for it. So anyway, that's basically just regular special summoning, but now let's go to fusions. Fusions are a little different. You have to have certain cards to do it. For example, here's Polymerization. It's the main card for fusions. It allows you, if you have a fusion on your field, let's say these two fuse together. Let's just, imagine that. They really don't. I don't think there's any card out there that would fuse these two, but let's just imagine there is. Alright, say I have this one, they can both be on the field, and you activate Polymerization, then you could fuse them. One could be in my hand, and the other one could be on the field, and there are, of course, other cards, that go beyond that, like one could be in the grave, and different things like that, but not with just regular Polymerization. you always have to read the fusion card to let you do more. And it goes kind of more into how to play, but from your extra deck, you would get the fusion. Like, remember us saying that this is a fusion? This guy does not fuse. You know, these don't fuse into this guy, but I'm just using him as an example, of course, so don't think that that's how it goes on that. And you would just send these to the grave after you fuse them, and there you go. There he is. You know, you get him on your field as special summon because you didn't tribute him. He's a stronger monster, and he's out there now. Stronger effects, usually different things like that. So that's kind of fusion, basic way of fusing. See, another type of special summoning before I forget. Certain cards require different types, like a Chaos Emperor Dragon. He can't be normal summon or set. He actually says it in his ability. But you have to remove from play a dark, which here's a dark, as you can see in the attribute, and a light, you can see right here, light monster, from your graveyard. These two are in your graveyard. You move from the game completely, and you can special summon this guy. That's another type of special summoning I wanted to go over, and it actually says it in its effect. So always read the effect. It will tell you if there's another way to bring the card out. Alright, move on to rituals, I guess, next. As I went over before, there are ritual spells, and of course I went over ritual monsters. To summon a ritual, you have to have these in your hand, both of them. Unless for some reason, I mean, there is a way where you could just set this on your side of the field and like not use it until you have the card in your hand, but really it'd be kind of dumb to do that because you'd be wasting space. But yeah, this is just your basic ritual. I know there are some that go beyond that, but we're just going with the basics. This one, you just go by what the card says. Like, both of them will say different things. Like this card can only be ritual summoned with the ritual spell Black Magic Ritual, is what the monster says. And here's Black Magic Ritual. This card can be used to ritual summon Magician of Black Chaos, which, there you go. And it also says you must tribute monsters from your field or hand whose level equals 8 or more. So, for example, you could have these two, because they're both 4. You can have them in your field, or both in your hand, or one in field, one in your hand, doesn't matter. They equal up to 8, so then you could use this card together, and boom, you bring this guy out. Or, because it does say or more, you could do something like, this one's a level 5, as you remember, he's level 5, this one's 4. Boom, bring them together, whether hand, field, whatever, it doesn't matter. You can still bring this guy up. Even though it equals up to 9, it says you could be 8 or more. It just can't be less than 8. So yeah, that's an example of a ritual. Most people aren't going to use rituals. It's kind of bad. You know, since Synchro Summoning's come out, rituals and fusions are kind of hard to come by these days. Now to Synchro Summoning. Synchro Summoning is probably the easiest and most common way of special summoning nowadays, of course. Alright, you have to have a regular monster, as you can see here. This is just basic, you know, generic synchro monster we're going to synchro summon. See, he's just a regular one. He's not a tuner. We went over tuners and regular effect monsters. This is regular effect. This is a tuner monster, so you can kind of see it. It will say tuner right there. It's a fiend tuner. Level 1, level 5. Synchro summon, you add the levels together. You have to have one tuner and one or more non-tuners. Different cards will require different things. Like sometimes they'll say they want an earth and a non-tuner, or you know, just there's always weird things. Or the non-tuner needs to be an earth, and you just need a regular tuner with it. Different things like that. Just always read what it says, what it requires right here. Like this one, it's just plain and simple generic card that just requires one tuner and one or more non-tuners. Just plain and simple. So you would add the levels up. Level 5, level 1, add together, and make 6. Alright, so we can synchro summon a level 6 synchro monster. There, level 6. This guy's level 6 monster, you could synchro summon, boom, special summon on your field, you have a stronger monster now. That's how that works. You can also, you know, put a tuner with a synchro, and, you know, synchro summon further and make it, like, say, because this is a level 1, it's level 6, level 7, you can bring out a level 7 synchro. For example, too, you can't always build off of them. And, let's see, Excel Synchro. Let's say you have, of course, well, there is a new type called Synchro Tuners. As you can see, I don't know if you guys can tell in this kind of camera, but it says Synchro and it's a tuner. This is the only card of its kind right now, at the moment. You won't find any other Synchro Tuners. Formula Synchron's the only one right now. I think Storm of Ragnarok, or after it, there's another one coming out, but so far this is going to be the only one. A Synchro Tuner, of course, you have to Synchro Summon him, just like I showed you with the others. Like this guy, you would have to use 2 level 1s because he's a level 2. Bring it out, and he can tune even further. So, let's say you brought out Stardust Dragon. This is a Stardust Dragon. You went through the process. It's a level 8, so you know, he's generic, so you just need a tuner and 1 or more non-tuners, just like the other dude. Alright, you have both these on the field, and you could Synchro Summon to make a level 10, because, you know, combined 2 plus 8 equals 10. But Shooting Star Dragon, as you can see right here, he requires, for his, you know, like I told you, sometimes they're generic, you know, where they're just plain requires a tuner and non-tuner. Well, this one, he's really specific. He requires a 1 tuner synchro monster, which, here's a tuner synchro, the only tuner synchro, and a Stardust Dragon. This is a Stardust Dragon. So of course you could Synchro Summon these 2, remove them from the field, they go to the graveyard, unless the card says otherwise. But in a Synchro Summoning, they always go to the graveyard after they're used, just like with a fusion or a ritual or anything else. And you bring this guy out, a stronger monster. So yeah, that's basically Special Summoning altogether. I think I've gone over everything. I try to go over it fast, hopefully I didn't talk too fast for anyone. If you have any questions at all, please leave that in the comments, of course. That way I can answer any questions, because I don't want anyone to not know what they're doing. Some of this can be really confusing. This is kind of the more intermediate kind of stuff summoning is, especially since I went over Synchro, Ritual, and Fusions. So yeah, any questions at all? Of course, there are more cards, like I said, that can Fusion Summon other than Polymerization. And there are other ways, you know, of course, to do all these things, you know, like Synchro, Rituals. You know, there are many other cards that can help you do it even faster or better or whatever. But I'm just going over the basics, so remember that. Also, like I said before a long time ago, don't even think about the ban list for now. Just duel for fun. You know, try to learn how to play the game. We don't even want to think about the ban list. That's going to be probably like the last episode of this series. Because for now, you just want to learn how to play. You're not going to enter a tournament and not know how to play. You know, you don't want to do that. You need to go all the way through, and then we'll go over the ban list and stuff. Because I know a lot of people are like, what about the ban list? Just forget about it for now. Don't even think about it. Alright, if you have any questions, it's always good, too, to go over the last episodes. That will help you with this one, of course, and give you some more detail, because I kind of, you know, it's hard for me to fit everything in one episode. So be sure to rewatch some of the old ones if you're missing on something, and you might be able to pick it up. If not, just ask me a question in the comments, of course, and I will try to answer it as soon as possible. Alright, and yeah, that's all. Remember to read your rulebook, too, that you got with your structure deck. Okay? And that's all. Bye, YouTube. Please subscribe.